my last video I reviewed the Terminator from 1984. 7 years later came the sequel, Terminator 2, Judgment Day. The cyborg who once tried to kill Sarah Connor must now protect her teenage son, John Connor, from an even more powerful and advanced Terminator. Once again, two beings are sent from the future, both with a different objective, but the difference is this time both beings are Terminators. I would definitely go so far as to say this is one of the greatest sequels of all time. For a sequel to be good, it needs to stand up next to its predecessor but still be a great film in its own right. The makers of this film didn't just make a sequel that is as good as the first. They made a film that is better. Arnold Schwarzenegger makes a great hero in this movie, and it is always great to see such a contrast in his character between the two films. In the first he is a tough, ruthless and merciless killing machine. In this film he is much more like an action hero, assigned to protect John Connor at all costs. One of the new characters in this movie is Sarah Connor's son John Connor, a teenage boy who likes to rebel from society, destined to become an influential figure in the war against the machines. Edward Furlong does a great job of playing this character, and although John is a little bad, there are times when you are really able to engage with the character. His relationship with the Terminator grows stronger as the film goes on, and it is nice to see how it develops. There's a lot of great dialogue between the two characters, and the comedic moments work very well, while not distracting from any of the plot. It is great to see how much Sarah Connor has developed since the last film, or in this case maybe not. At the beginning of the film she is locked up in a hospital for the criminally insane after attempting to bomb a computer factory. Sarah Connor sees terrifying visions in her nightmares of Judgment Day and is traumatized by the events of the previous film. Despite this, Sarah Connor is a very strong female character and challenges the usual stereotypes of women in action films. James Cameron often does this in his films, another example being Aliens, in which Ellen Ripley has to help fend off a horde of aliens and rescue a young girl in the process. This film was made around the time that CGI was first being used, and while this was much more basic CGI, it still looks good today. This film is not as dark as the first, giving it a completely new look and feel. You end up feeling for all the main characters in this movie, and they are very well developed. This film is one of the greatest sequels of all time, and definitely one of the greatest movies of all time.